Okay, now we're going to start, and this is week 2 of the Healthy Games Challenge, and our focus this week is on healthy eating. Thank you, Joe. And but before we talk about that, I want to remind you about some incentives that are ending this Sunday. So take advantage of them if you have not already. So the first one is the one that's within our team room. And the incentive there is if you invite somebody and they enroll, then you are eligible. It doesn't matter if you invited one person and they enrolled, or if you invited 10 people and all 10 of them enrolled. You have the same chance of winning. So since that goes until Sunday, we will have the drawing for that on next week's Zoom call. And I will tell you right now who's in the running. Joe, Donna, Stacy, Teresa, Pam, Mark, Suzanne Chronister. We have 2 Suzannes, so Suzanne Chronister, Polly, and Monica. You are all, I have noted that you have added somebody and they have joined. So, it'll be a random drawing, okay? The second incentive that also ends on Sunday is the one from the big challenge, and it's 500 big ones, $500 to the person who has the most enrollees, people they invite that enroll between the 18th, so what was that? That was Tuesday, through the 25th. Now, if you think about it, a lot of people are thinking, I'm not going to invite anybody. It's already started. I'm not going to do that. And so if everybody's thinking that way, you stand a good chance of being involved in that. So don't give up on that. And remember, if you have somebody that wants to still join the challenge, still encourage them, because remember, their points are prorated. They don't have to have the same number of points that you did when you started. Their weight loss is still either 6%, or they can choose the 1%. And they're still going to learn a lot about, the whole getting healthy aspect. So it's well worth it. So keep those 2 in mind. And then the last one that's also coming up on Monday is the wacky workout photo. And this is an example of one of those incentives that pops up and we never know about it. And so we just got to jump on it. We'll have more of these throughout the remaining weeks. And I put this on the wall, but I want to ask, is anybody going to participate and submit a wacky workout photo? Monica, you are? Okay. Have you done it yet?
I haven't done the selfie of me on a rebounder. I'm not sure if I can do that safely. So that's the plan tomorrow.
There you go.
Hey, quit jumping around, Dale.
Very good. We get the idea, but here's the point. Since you have to put that picture on the main challenge wall, be sure and tell us in the team room that you've done it so that we can all go like it.
Okay.
So get the points for that. Okay. So those are the 3 incentives I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of. And your screen is frozen, Monica. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there you go. Okay. It was just frozen for a minute. I don't know why.
It's the snow.
It was all that rebounding. Oh, all right. So back to this week. Week 2 is about healthy eating. And I've got some things to share, but I also want to hear from each of you tonight. We're not going to go through intro, so we have a little bit more time this week. And so I want to start talking about some of the things that you covered this week. And so let's first think about that webinar that we had. Back on Monday, the presenter was Dr. Nelson, Dr. Mark Nelson, not our Mark Nelson, but another Mark Nelson. And it was a little long. Some of you might have found it a little bit long, but it was chock full of good information. And so I'm hoping you got some things out of it. And was there anything that you remember from that webinar that you want
Oh,
to share?
oh, Mr. Carter. Nina.
Healthy Games calls on Dale. What is it, Dale?
I'm practicing for that photo I got to take on top of the exercise equipment.
Okay.
Nutrition pollution really stuck out.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's what I was hoping you guys could tell me.
Okay. Does anybody know what nutrition pollution is?
All the things we love that aren't good for us.
Anybody else have any other suggestions?
How about the many ingredients that go into a lot of these foods that we eat? 20 to 30 different ingredients in a little, piece of bread, for example.
Yeah. And how many ingredients is it that Dr. Anderson said if you can keep it down to?
Go ahead. Cut it.
You remember?
Three.
Three.
3 to 5.
I thought it was 5. Yeah, 5.
Was it 5? I thought it was 3.
I think it's 3.
Okay. Somewhere between 3 and 5.
Sounds good. We got a consensus.
Okay. All right. The other thing that I was wondering is, now some of you who've seen me present the program, you've seen this before, so I don't want you to yell out the answer. But do you all remember seeing this
Ugh.
on the webinar?
Yes.
Awful.
Okay. And do you remember how much he said it weighed?
Yes.
Sure do.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Somebody that hasn't seen me present. How much?
That's not you, Dale.
Well, I saw it, but I saw it again.
John, Donna, Mark, Tammy, or Pam? Everybody
1
else
pound.
1 pound.
1 pound.
1 and 1, okay, and Mark?
I think 2.5 pounds.
2.5. Tammy?
I'm going to say 5.
5. It's 5 pounds.
There you go.
You can see myself in the head.
Careful, Tammy. No points. No points.
Oh, man.
Well, then we should start some little in team room points just for the heck of it. But this is 5 pounds. And so his whole point about, how ugly and big it was, and I don't have one of the ones that's protein, but do you remember on his webinar he had one that was smoother and it was more red and sleek, and that was the protein?
It was
No,
muscle.
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 I think
muscle.
Muscle.
Do you guys remember that in the video?
Yep.
And how much better it looked?
Mm.
So those people who like statistics and like numbers, 1 pound of muscle burns how many calories per day?
70.
Beautiful. Beautiful. 70 calories.
Go, Judy.
Yeah. And how many calories does 1 pound of fat store?
3,500.
Okay. So this stores how many?
3,500.
3,500 times
7. 5 times 5.
5. Okay, so what is that? 17,500 calories right here.
Ugh.
So, when people are overeating, just think the number of calories they're adding in to keep this in their body.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I had 10 of these on my body that I got rid of. And I think most people on this call can claim how many they've lost and how many they got rid of too. So it's really a really significant visual. There's one more percentage that I wanted to go over that was from that webinar, because I thought this was cool. We've always heard when you're hungry, you think you're hungry, maybe you're just thirsty, and go have a glass of water and wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes to see if you're still hungry, right? We've all heard that for a while. But did you ever hear the percentage of time when we think we're hungry that we're really just thirsty? Remember that. What percent? 30% of the time. 30% of the time we think we're hungry and we're just thirsty. So just like last week, I want everybody to reach over and grab your bottle of water and take a sip.
Not in the other room.
Everybody that did that just got a point. All right. Okay. Anything else about that webinar?
That must have been
That was on Monday. You can still go, it was the weekly webinar.
the one on Monday. We didn't look at it yet.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Okay. You have to go back and watch that one. It's good.
Right.
Okay. What else did you watch or see or read this week that stood out in your mind? Of all the things, all the readings, the videos, the webinars, what stood out in your mind?
Yeah.
For me, it was the transformational change, the 5 things that really need to come together for somebody to really make a change in their life and have it stick, and not just go out there and think it's going to happen. But the pieces about that were, for me at least, was knowing who I am and what I really want. So that those 2 things together make my why. This is why I'm doing this. Because I see myself as a strong, healthy person, and I want that health, and I want many, many years with my family. So that's my why.
Excellent, excellent. You want to give us the 5? No?
I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Okay, okay, all right.
Ron's got it.
Yeah, I got it. I printed it out because it fits. I mean, I've got a son that this fits perfectly. He lives in a negative world, and I've been trying to get him to change. And it's odd that this fits him perfectly and just change. So I printed it out. I'm gonna hand it out to a few friends of mine. Not
Fantastic.
necessarily about losing weight, but just about life in general.
Excellent.
Yeah, this fits a lot of different situations.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned it that way, Ron and Joe, because there's so much more to this challenge than just the weight. And there's several people in here that are just maintaining. And so we know it goes beyond that, and we have to focus on some of the other parts as well. But it goes so far beyond just what's on that scale. And also, I'm hoping, I mentioned it last week and I'm going to mention it again, please don't just rush through and get your points. If you need to do that, okay, do it, but come back and read the material, watch it again, because there's so much there. Even after we talk tonight, you might want to go back and look at something.
Hey, Neva, real quick, like you said, to go deeper into this and just don't go through and get your points.
Yeah.
Those 5 things, just to cover them, are getting comfortable being uncomfortable, getting your mind right, figuring out your deeper why, which I've already mentioned. Then the 4th one is being the hero in your own movie. And then the last one, of course, is paying it forward. And that's what I think we're all doing here as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate you getting that for us. Okay. Anybody else want to share something that stood out for you this week?
I was very taken with the writing between, it talked about binge eating and cravings, the difference between binges and cravings. For me, they just go hand in hand. The craving will lead to a binge. And then if I haven't been in the junk food, if I get into a binge, then I create those cravings. I fuel them, I give them a kickstart, and we're in that cycle again. So better to not even go there.
I agree. Yep. Good. I
really appreciate that we can print off those things now. We've got a print option on those, because last time on the last challenge we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. And I actually have the videos. If you can't get the videos, I've got the links to the videos going forward too.
Good.
So we'll have those. Okay. Anybody else want to share something from this week? Who's on the phone? We forgot to ask.
Debbie.
Debbie?
Yes.
Hi, Debbie. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Is it Debbie Michael?
Yes, it is.
Great. We're glad to have you here, Debbie. All right. I had to ask because we get points for being on this call, and so Dale's keeping track of who's on here. So, all right. There's one other that I want to bring up, and Dale, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I had one.
Okay.
This is a dumb one, but I couldn't get rid of the visual. I thought about it for like 3 days after I saw it, and I forgot which one it was that we got points for, but it was dance like nobody is watching. So I was kind of hoping you would all post those videos while you were dancing so we could all see them after the fact. No?
Okay.
Did anybody do it?
Show of hands. Who danced?
I did.
Okay.
Nobody's watching. We didn't do that.
Pam, you didn't get up and dance? Monica,
My mother did.
Get up and dance? Come on, you guys. Yeah.
My mom did, and she didn't even know she was dancing to her own, to my movie.
Oh, great.
I thought my initial thought was, this is dumb. But then I did it, and I felt good afterwards, which I guess was the point of it. So,
So
but
that
I did picture each and one of you guys doing it on your own, and I was wondering what that looked like.
You need a hobby, Dale.
I do have a hobby. It's envisioning what you people look like dancing without anybody watching.
oh dear. Oh dear. Okay.
You're missing the point.
Dancing.
What was that, Donna?
You're missing the point. The point is as if no one was watching. We don't want you watching.
I know.
And guess
But
what?
it's so much fun.
He wasn't in the room when I was dancing either. The cats were, but he wasn't. So, so what he was referring to was one of the rotating activities, and we didn't have those last time. We may have had some of these, but we didn't call them that. I love those because they're kind of something a little bit different that pop up. So I've enjoyed those a lot too.
And how many played with their dogs?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Here she is.
Joe's shaking his head no. Do you have a dog?
No, my golden retriever passed away 2 years ago, so I couldn't play with the dog.
Aw.
Well, Dale invited everybody over to Stacy and Teresa's to play with their dogs. I don't know if anybody showed up.
He helps us keep the calories down by eating part of our meals.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Then we have two dogs. Right? Go ahead.
I have a question.
Okay.
When I was reading through the water, the readings, and I was reading, and they did not go and give me, where it says pending, and they didn't come off. But I've read all of them, and they're still saying that I haven't read them.
Well, they remain out there, and then some will show pending, but the old ones stay there, so you can go back and look at them.
I do. I have. I've done them over and over. I keep on reading them because they're real good. My mom gets those fun-sized waters, and she'll read them, and they correspond with what we're reading on our waters. The statements that we get.
Yeah.
And that. So it was kind of neat. She'll read them, and I'll say, "Oh, that one's right here, Mom."
Excellent. Okay. Well, I think you're getting the points for it. It's just that they remain. It's either pending for you to read it, or else it'll just stay out there, and you can go back and look at it again. Good point, Debbie. Okay.
They just say pending, and the other ones have all the points taken off. Okay.
Tammy and Mark, you want to talk with Debbie after and make sure she's.
I have the same question because I have some that do that too.
Wow.
Does it look like you're getting the points for it though?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I want you guys to go up in the right-hand corner and it says contact us. Click that on. and they're really fast about responding to you, and tell them what is happening.
Okay.
And
I have a question.
and then they'll update if it looks like you've gotten the point. I mean, if you say, I have read 6 days of water and it's still pending, tell them that. They'll make sure you get the point.
Okay.
Okay, good. Who said I have a question?
I did.
Okay.
Are you using the app or going on to the Meltdown website?
I'm on the
The
website.
website.
Yeah.
Okay, because I noticed that on the app, it doesn't post it until something like the next time you go in.
That's true, John. I found that too. I thought it wasn't doing it. And then I came home and I had all my points because I thought I had to do everything again. Good point. Okay. But Tammy and Debbie, take a look at that. And if you run into problems with that, if they don't respond to you by next week, then let me know and I'll help you follow up with that. Okay?
Okay. All righty.
Okay. There was one more I wanted to bring up. It was, the topic was the myth of the 3 squares. And this was where they did the survey, or a study, I guess you call it, of 2 groups of people. And they all had exactly the same food, the same amount, but one group had it 3 times a day, just the old-fashioned 3 square meals a day. And all that food was in 3 times a day. And the other group, it was spread out into the multiple small meals, or 6 meals a day. And the group that had it spread out actually lost more weight. So the point of the survey, the point of the story is that, you know, that we learned that it's not just what you eat, but when you eat. Because when you're nourishing your body throughout the day, the body it's a signal to us to not, to keep us from getting overly hungry, and that we don't have to store calories. When we eat a big meal, we end up storing half of that. I don't know about half of it, but we end up storing some of that. And when you eat smaller amounts, it's spread out throughout the day. And of course, I know that that's, you know, the popular thinking and the proper way we want to do it is eat multiple small meals a day. But I never really knew that there was a study that was done that way. So I really like that one. I hope you guys remember that one. Okay. I gave you all some more time to think about what you read or heard this week. Anybody else want to share one that you like? Griffin, how about you?
He wants a bigger box.
Anybody?
Anything else you want to share about something from the?
I guess my point is not really about what I read, but just I think the variety that they've offered on this challenge is much better. So there's short snippets, and that really works because you're in, you're out, whether it's about sleep or stress. And with as busy as I am, and I'm sure everybody is, shorter, concise is just, I'm enjoying it. So I can pop around, and I appreciate what you said, Neva, that you can go back to it, but at the same time, you can get it in and just move on. You know, some of them that are this long, it takes time. So I like the way they're changing that up a bit and offering some fun aspects. You know, like make sure you sleep and you're not stimulated before you go to bed. Some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Anybody else? This one, I have one that I want to share, and those of you who I've coached, you've heard me say this. When you think about, when we talk about exercising, instead of saying, you know, I got to go exercise or I'm going to go exercise, say, I'm going to go get some stress off. Oh, does that make a big difference? I'm going to go and get rid of some of the stress that I have. And after you exercise, oh, it feels so much better. And you aren't thinking of it as a chore or work of exercising. I love that one. So just for those of you who haven't heard me say that one, that's a good one. Carry that one on. And one last one that I want to share. I had this one down because it was a great week for me. I loved it. And Monica, you mentioned about some of the sleep. And every time we do these, I learn more about water and I learn more about sleep. Actually, I learn more about everything. Sometimes it's a reminder and sometimes it's just, hearing it a little bit differently. But this one about sleep, it was the little diagram that said the functions of sleep. And it was cleaning the brain of toxins. So when you're sleeping, it's up there cleaning away, getting rid of the toxins. Physical restoration, okay, information processing, and memorization.
Right.
So sometimes in the day, you're just like, I can't quite think of whatever it is. It's in there somewhere. It didn't quite get placed in the right spot last night. Maybe I didn't get all the sleep I should have had. So I like that one. And what about mood regulation? Based on how much sleep you've had, can affect your mood for the day. And then this one I love. I mean, we know it, but still just kind of hearing it is strengthening your immune system.
Yeah.
And we all need to be thinking about, we need to think of that all, throughout the whole year, but this time of year, it just seems like it hits a little bit more, with the bugs and the germs and the cold and the flu that's going around. So let's keep our immune systems healthy. So keep that in mind when you go to bed tonight and get a very restful night of sleep. So, any last comments from anybody? Okay, guys, next week, shall we keep it on Thursday?
Yes.
One more Thursday. I know, Monica, we're gonna move to Wednesdays in a couple weeks, just to be fair to everybody.
Oh, no.
1 week of Thursdays. And so we'll do the drawing next Thursday, and keep in mind what you're hearing over the week next week, and we'll talk about it on that call.
Okay.
So with that, I look forward to seeing everybody out on the wall and lots of good posts. Thanks for supporting one another. I love what I'm seeing, and we've got a nice big group here, and hopefully each week we'll have a couple more out here. All right, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you.
Good night.